Welcome back to LGBT Snapshots. I am your host, Chad, and it is Bisexual Day. Joan Crawford, 1904 to 1977, was born Lucille Fay LeSueur in San Antonio, Texas, into a family with money struggles and instability. Using the nickname Billy, she grew up watching vaudeville acts, learning to be self-sufficient and talented, though she never got more than an elementary school education herself. After an adolescence in Kansas City, Lucille, or Billy, began traveling as a chorus girl in dancing shows, and eventually she got roles on Broadway. She moved to Hollywood and got a contract with MGM, who ran a contest in a local magazine where fans got to select her new screen name, Joan Crawford, a name she didn't care for, at least at the beginning. Joan shamelessly self-promoted herself in the industry on her own, and in the public, taking the initiative to promote herself, and she got more and more starring roles over time, and successfully transitioned into sound pictures. After years of starring in dozens of pictures, Joan was one of many Hollywood elite to be considered box office poison when several movies she was in flopped, costing the studio much more to hire her than they actually made off of the movies. And she was released from her contract to MGM, though she still worked in pictures the rest of her life. Joan has been married several times, including to 3 actors, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., French Octote, Philip Terry Jr., and she was married to the president of Pepsi-Cola at the time, Alfred Steele, though she did remain unmarried the last 18 years of her life. Her marriages were rife with ego, arguments, alcohol, and domestic violence. Joan was single in 1940 when she adopted a daughter, Christina, through a black market process, as it was illegal in California law for single mothers to adopt children. She later adopted 3 other children. After Joan's death, years later, Christina wrote a tell-all book accounting for the terrible abuse she suffered at the hands of her mother, and the book was later remade into a film, Mommy Dearest, which has immortalized Joan in a way that she would not care to be remembered. Joan had years-long rivalries with other stars, most notably Bette Davis. Joan struggled with alcoholism, depression, obsessive-compulsive, and borderline behaviors her entire life. According to several sources, Joan, who stood only 5'3", was very sexually active with both men and women, and she may have starred in some softcore pornography upon her arrival in Hollywood. One source claims that she blackmailed J. Edgar Hoover of the FBI into deleting records of her sexual encounters, and she threatened to expose Hoover's cross-dressing to the public. She was romantically linked to some of the biggest names in Hollywood, both men and women, including Clark Gable, Barbara Stanwyck, Marilyn Monroe, and Tallulah Bankhead. I hope you learned something today. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you back here tomorrow for Policy Day.